Today on Arts24, we're going to be talking to a rock legend.
Straighten the arm first. Don't move your body.
Oh, yeah.
Don't lean on it.
It's not every day you stab a big rock idol, so...
Hi, I'm Bruce Dickinson.
He's represented Britain internationally in fencing. He's also been a commercial airline pilot, launched his own brewing business and has sold over 100 million records with his band Iron Maiden. Heavy metal legend Bruce Dickinson has just released his first solo album in nearly 20 years, the Mandrake Project.
Hello, Bruce.
Hello.
How are you today?
I am okay. I'm feeling much better for meeting you. It's a nice day today,
That's
eh?
so nice. So you've taken us to a really special place for you. Can you tell us where we are?
Well, we are in the one of the Salle d'Armes, one of the training gymnasiums of CEP, fencing club in Paris, and this is Cercle des Escrimeurs Parisiennes, and so that's where I train when I get the opportunity, when I can.
Do you have a place everywhere in the world? Does every city in the world accommodate you?
I try to fence if I can, wherever I am, if I'm somewhere for a long time. But it's difficult when you're touring because, you know, we're doing 4 shows a week, and then on the days off, you kind of need to rest.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm trying to manage at least one day.
Hopefully you can get one of your bandmates into this as well. That'd be quite a good...
you know, I think just having a stuffed dummy or something, you know, that you could poke every now and again. I mean, my hotel rooms are chaotic because the first thing I do is rearrange all the cushions and stick them up against the wall so I can poke them, you know.
You're an international rock star. I was wondering how much fencing and rock and roll had in common, and what were the things? Because I know you've used it as a time to come down off tour as well. And
yeah, I mean, fencing obviously is a very disciplined sport, and you have to be, you know, dedicated to it in the same way that musicians have to be dedicated to what they do, you know. And there's a camaraderie among fencers that is universal, you know.
And we're here to talk about, amongst others, your new record,
Yeah.
which is the first in nearly 20 years, the Mandrake Project, which is already #1 currently in a number of European countries. Yeah. Congratulations.
I know, thank you very much. I'm still going, pinch myself. I can't believe this. Great.
Does it never get tiring or boring to, you know, have the success, you know, because you're familiar with it?
No, having that level of success is never boring or tiring. It's great. But it's important to remember that who gives you that level of success. It's not me going and buying all those records. It's the audience, it's fans, it's people. So it's kind of a validation. It obviously speaks to people in some way, which is great.
And tell us about the title, Mandrake Project.
Well, I chose that title. I mean, I'd finished the record and didn't have a title for it. And I also had this comic, 3-year project for a comic, which is basically a graphic novel. I thought the Mandrake Project as a title for the comic worked because it sounded clandestine and mysterious. But it also works for the album because it sounds a little bit enigmatic. So you're intrigued, like, what is this inside here? You know, because it's not obvious. Like a lot of rock things and metal things, they're very in your face, and you know exactly what it's going to sound like, which is, you know, I mean, obviously that's a good intention. But for me, I wanted to play, as it were, the long game more, because the record is not just a traditional heavy metal record. It's got so much more emotional depth than that.
The raindrops spattered on the tomb from grey and leaden skies. Deny me once, deny me twice, don't look in my eyes.
You've got your latest single and music video, it's Rain on the Graves,
yes.
Which apparently was inspired by English Romantic poet William Wordsworth and going and visiting his final resting space. What drew you to that?
I think cemeteries are kind of interesting because, they are calm and peaceful and tranquil on a nice summer's day, sitting on a little bench, and then the skies darken, and suddenly it's Dracula, and it's like scary stuff and zombies, and they're all those things rolled into one. So there's a bit of a fascination there. I happened to be in a place called Grasmere in the Lake District in England. William Wordsworth composed a lot of his poetry there and is buried in the local church. And it was raining. So I just wrote the words, Rain on the Graves. And so when we did the video for it, the video director and myself came up with the story, which is basically a kind of homage to Hammer horror stuff. So it's got like a little it's like a miniature, little mini movie.
Mortality and also enjoying and living your life to the fullest kind of, transpire in this record. And I was wondering, is it also in part because you're now 65 currently, do you think you're more aware of enjoying yourself? Was that always been part of who you were?
No, I think you're when you get to 65, you're really grateful that you can enjoy yourself. I've had some moderately horrible things happen with my body over the years, most of which has been to do with just like physical abuse of it, sport and jumping around on concrete stages. I bust my Achilles tendon, like proper, and I'm now the proud possessor of 2 completely metal hips.
You also had throat cancer that you overcame.
I had throat cancer as well, and the bout with cancer did really make me confront, mortality. There I was thinking, oh my God, I might die. And I didn't. No. But you have to confront all kinds of mental processes to go, well, how do I think about this every day? Or do I let it rule my life? Or do I just get on with things and wait to see what happens? And I wrote about it in my autobiography, and a huge number of people read that and it seems took some kind of inspiration from it, and they said, well, yeah, take a positive view, makes a huge difference.
Now there's longevity of rock and roll yourself. You've got the Rolling Stones who are in their 80s.
They're still going strong, yeah.
Judas Priest, who've just released a record.
They have, yeah, and Rob's doing amazing. I'm actually playing some shows with Judas Priest.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the younger generations? Because, obviously metal from the 80s, you're still, like, as we were saying, number one in some countries, but younger rock is seeming to kind of have a hard time these days. Do you think it's going to come back?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, there's a market for this kind of music. I mean, there's an audience for this kind of music. But the problem for me is there are several. One is that this music exists to be played live. The tragedy is that between government/EU legislation and taxation and everything else like that. I mean, the big bands, they have accountants and they can deal with tax and all the rest of it. But for smaller bands, a government saying, oh, yes, we'll take 20% of your money and put it against tax because a band that's getting paid, 500 euros for a show can't afford to have 100 euros taken away. At the same time, there's a lack of venues. So now, we've gone crazy about health and safety and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, bands need venues to play in, and bands need to be paid more for their music. So there needs to be a revolution in the royalties that musicians get paid directly from streaming.
I read that back in 2016, you voted in favour of Brexit for...
I did, yes.
And now you're a Brit who lives in France. Is it ironic?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm a Brit who lives in France because I'm allowed to because I married a French girl. There was a minority of people in England, I think, who basically kind of like don't like foreigners, so they voted for Brexit because of that. Mm-hmm. But it was a very, very broad church of people. The weird thing is that the United Kingdom is an island, and that means that we think differently. Like at the moment, the Corsicans are voting because they want to do something to secede from France, because they're an island. People think differently in an island, and if you don't respect that, there's pushback. And the problem with the European Union was they decided that one size has to fit everything. And so, okay, we quit. Should Great Britain re-engage with the European Union? Yes, absolutely. But it should be based on pragmatism, not dogmatism.
What is next for Iron Maiden?
Australia, Japan, New Zealand, North America, South America in August.
Fabulous. Okay, Bruce Dickinson, thank you so much.